Greetings, I am CrossKnights, and this is my 1,000 subscriber video. Good God. I can't believe I've made it. Question and answer videos. I got quite a few questions, way more than I thought I was going to. So thank you very much for everyone who submitted your questions, and I will try. I'm gonna try to address all of them. I don't think there was too many repeats also, which is also pretty cool. I have no idea what game is playing in the background right now, because I'm gonna record that later, I suppose. I wanted to make it Jamestown, but for some reason Jamestown just decided that it won't record properly. So, I have no idea. So I'm gonna try to read people's names, but if it's confusing, I'm just gonna move on. Like, I might be like, hey, guy whose name starts with a V, what is up? Because I don't want to waste too much time on that. So, first question from Never Trust Vampires, which is good advice. You really should never trust vampires. And yes, what do I think of Final Fantasy X? I like Final Fantasy X. I know a lot of people from my generations are always like, oh, the Final Fantasy games really turned around after 10. After 10, they were terrible. Or, you know, not after 10, but like 10 was when they got terrible. I don't get that. I really like Final Fantasy X. I understand that, like, I feel like it took for a turn for the worse after that. With, like, the MMO, admittedly I never played it, but, like, 12? What the hell was that crap? I mean, I played half of it, but it actually got stolen. That's a whole other story right there. But, and I didn't buy it back because I just didn't care. I mean, I really just did not care about playing it anymore. But Final Fantasy X, I really liked it. And you know what? I even like Final Fantasy X, too. I will say that right here. It was a little bit mini-game crazy, but, you know, I thought the battle system was pretty fun in it. Even if the story was a little bit weak. And Pain is just a weird, oddly placed character. So yeah, I like it. I'm not gonna LP it, though, because it's too damn long, and I don't like it enough to LP it. But it's crossed my mind. What town do you live in? This is by, Fires of Shadow, who actually has a, he's doing a Vampire the Masquerade LP the last time I checked. I live in a town in upstate New York, and for anyone who doesn't live in New York State, upstate is what New Yorkers call anything that is not New York City. Anything that's above it is upstate New York, which sounds wrong geographically when you look at a map, but considering there's like 20 million people in New York State, and 8 or 9 million of them live in New York City. Most of the people in New York live in New York City. I mean, almost half of them. So it kind of makes sense to say upstate New York for that perspective. But yeah, that's about as specific as I want to get, really. Venzor? That's no way that's right. What game are you thinking of doing? Right now, I'm thinking of doing Shank, despite the fact that I'm having major sound problems. I would have loved to do Jamestown, but apparently that game doesn't want to work. And I'm recording this first part, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, I have to do something, but I don't feel like I have the wherewithal to do an actual LP. Good God, no, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. Good God, I need to go to sleep. Why? I don't have anything to do tomorrow, but that's terrible. But I don't know, by the time this is posted, by the time that I actually have 1,000 subscribers, I'm sure whatever I'm planning to do next is already up. I'm assuming Kingdom Hearts or Evil Genius will be finished by that time. But maybe not, who knows. So, Mega Ha Halo. Are you done with Flash games? I think I might have figured out the problem this past day, but Cam Studio, the program that I used to record Flash games, was not working. I tried to record a game called Minotaur's China Shop. I actually recorded the entire thing, 15 minutes long, and it just broke. Like, just flat out broke, and that was just way too disheartening to even try anything again. I'd be lying if I even said that I was looking for new Flash games, though. I've just been playing a lot of indie games, which some of them are Flash games, I guess. But for now, unfortunately, I'm done with Flash games and old-school games, because Fraps won't record Super Nintendo games either. He also asked what genre of games I like. I like action games a lot, like side-scrollers especially. One-on-one fighting games I love, but like none of my friends like them enough to really play them. So I should really get a next generation or current generation system so I can play online with my friends that have moved away that do like them. I mean, I like a lot of genres. I mean, I guess anything except for, like, sports games. Although NFL Blitz was kind of fun, but only if you didn't play football. You just, like, ran around beating the crap out of each other, ignoring the... Like, the football, like, didn't even matter in that game. That game was just all about beating the crap out of your friends and doing wrestling moves. Have you heard about the new Hitman movie? No, I have not. Maybe I'll look into that. I actually kind of liked the Hitman movie. It wasn't great. For a video game movie, it was amazing. But that's saying absolutely nothing. Because there's very few video game movies that aren't absolute crap. But I liked it. There's a little fanboy things of him, like, putting poison in, like, someone's drink and then going to the bathroom and strangling them. Like, I like that type of crap. But, I saw it once and I don't ever need to see it again. It's not like it was amazing or anything. So, Jetboy. Jetboy is asking, when I get a current generation system, will I play those games? I intend to. I don't know if for all I know, my sound card is not compatible for some weird reasons. But, if it's compatible, yeah, sure, definitely. I'm leaning towards getting a PlayStation 3 now, but there's some weird financial stuff going on in my life where, like, I could technically afford it, but I still feel like I shouldn't buy the damn thing. It just seems like way too much of a money sink right now. But we'll see. From the stuff that I've been hearing about the new, like, I can actually say next generation systems, like, the Xbox 720, I think it's called, and the next PlayStation, I'm probably never going to get those systems if the crap I've been hearing is true. Like, I'm just going to avoid those forever and probably be on PlayStation 3 at this point. Oh, that's me, always behind the trends, even in my preferred interest of video games. Still behind the trends, playing old stuff. Logan asks, will you ever play some MMORPGs? Not if I can help it. I swore off, at a certain point in my life, I think probably back in, like, 2006 or something. No, that's too far back. 2008, maybe? I just decided no more MMORPGs ever. The quality of gaming is just not good enough. I mean, it's repetitive crap. It's like the potato chips of video gaming for the most part, and the only reason you play is to interact with people. But most of the games just, and way too much of a time sink with little accomplishment feeling at the end. Like, I like games that end, damn it. I like games that have skill beyond you are awesome because you played it a lot. So, I mean, I almost had a relapse when I found out that City of Heroes is now free to play. But no, I'm probably not. If I do, then that'll be kind of like an addict going back to his heroin. I don't want to deal with it at all. Especially if it's My Little Pony? No. A My Little Pony MMORPG, really? What would you do? What is the conflict in My Little Pony? Like, what would you do in this? Like, back in the Shadow of the Colossus LP, I said I would watch it because, it came up. And I never watched My Little Pony. I mean, maybe I'll do it again someday, but I don't even have time for shows that I like for the most part, because, like, when I have free time, I'm either, like, doing side graphic design jobs or working on videos for the channel, and I haven't even watched, like, the rest of Spartacus, for God's sakes, and the finale just happened. What are your thoughts on Final Fantasy XII? This is from Nutkicker, who's posted on quite a few of my videos, as I remember. I think I just mentioned that. Yeah, I mentioned that in the other questions. It's not a terrible game, but it's certainly a forgettable game, I must say. None of the characters had any impression over me. Though the chick that, like, freaked out with the red eyes and, like, killed a bunch of people, she was kind of cool, but I never found out what that was about because I didn't get far enough. What is a good capture card, and what console recording device do you use? I don't know what the hell the thing is called. If you go to Nintendo Capri Sun's channel, he'll say, his description is like, I use this card. I used to use this card, but it doesn't work on Windows 7. The card that doesn't work on Windows 7 is the card that I used, because I actually saw that in his profile. I was like, I'll get the one he's getting. So, yeah, I wouldn't recommend it, though. It has problems. So, actually, don't look at the profile. Do not get that capture card. It has a lot of problems that you've probably seen in my video. Like the flickering, there's actually a delay when you're playing the game on the screen, so I had to buy a separate cable in order to play games properly, because a half-second delay, that's enough to screw you up. The only LP that I played with that half-second delay was the Bouncer, and you can tell when I'm, like, walking and stuff. It's hard to even walk with a half-second delay, let me tell you. And, do you know any good places to get the mic you use? I got my mic at Walmart for $20. So once again, I might not be... I go through no expense for this show, I'm telling you, man. No expense. I'm a high-end deal here. I got my free video editing programs, my free recording programs, and my $20 Walmart mic, because that's how I roll. Cheap and dirty. But, yeah. Again, I don't know, maybe I'll upgrade someday, but I'm not looking to make money through these videos or anything, so it's hard for me to justify spending the money. So, tell us about yourself. What are your hobbies, interests, favorite games, movies, TV shows? Are you actually a LPing Gigantoraptor? Well, I'll answer that one first. No, I am a human. And how many fingers am I holding up? Probably, at the time of listening to this, unless you're shooting them up right now, I'd say 0. Your hand is probably either in a fist or in a relaxed position. So let's go back to your other questions. What are your hobbies and interests? I like drawing. I used to like parkour when I was younger, but I got arrested in the only place in this town that I could do it, so I had to stop that immediately, which is a damn shame. I like walking. I like video games. I like graphic design. I guess those are my hobbies and interests. Favorite game? I don't have a favorite game. It used to be Chrono Trigger, but I couldn't even tell you right now. There's just a lot of games that I like playing, and they fall out of favor, and they come back. Path of Neo is probably one of my all-time favorite games, though. As I mentioned in my LP of that, I play that almost annually. In fact, I'm probably overdue for another playing of it. I just love going back to it, and I keep on finding new moves and crap that I didn't know about. I found like 2 in that LP. It was crazy. Favorite movie? I like The Matrix. Unlike most people, I actually kind of like the second Matrix movie, but that's mainly because I like the fights. Kill Bill, I like stuff like that. Watchmen, Inception was great. I like those, like, mindfrack movies where you have to question reality and people don't know what's real. Like, I always love those. And that's, you know, Matrix and Inception and The Jacket, and not really Mulholland Drive. I kind of like that, but I wouldn't say that's one of my favorite movies. Vanilla Sky was Tom Cruise. Good God, that movie was way better than I thought it was going to be. I just watched it because there was a list of, like, reality movies where it's movies like what I'm talking about, and that was the only one I hadn't seen, and I loved Vanilla Sky. Check out Vanilla Sky if you like movies like Inception and The Jacket. I'm telling you. Television show? I'm watching Spartacus right now. I really liked Fringe. And I'm not sure what else. I'm not really sure what else I'm watching. I'm not really watching anything. And I answer the rest of your questions. So that was from SNP Kool-Aid Killer. It's a pretty elaborate name right there. So, Triant? I'm not sure. So he's asking about the hobbies and interests. I just answered that. And who inspired you to LP? Or even, what's your name? Should I reveal my name? Should I reveal my incredibly unique... My name's Adam. Let's just get that out of the way. I have the most generic, like, full name ever. Why couldn't I had, like, a cool name, like Penn Gillette? Or, so, you know, like something that no one else has. I would rather have that. But, whatever. Who inspired? I don't know if anyone inspired. I mean, probably Nintendo Capri Sun. And I'm convinced that he actually did LPs before LPs existed. Because he had this blog, and he had, like, the whole, like, camera shot up to the television thing. But that was before I even heard the term LP. I mean, that was around when YouTube started, man. And now he's a huge LPer, and he deserves it. And the fact that he's older, too, I love that, because I'm, you know, if you got all the age groups of the people that LP'd, I'm definitely on the higher end, and he's like 34 or something, and he just seems like this nice guy, and I really like him. The person who actually got me to start LPing, like, right then, was this LPer named I Like Being Smart, and she hasn't really played anything that I liked recently, so I actually unsubbed, but, she's got like 500 subs. But she was just playing Yoshi's Island, and she wasn't very good at it. but I was laughing and enjoying it. And at that moment, I realized that I don't need to practice these games so much that I'm absolutely perfect. It's actually sometimes better when you're not perfect, because then hilarious things happen. Perfect can be very boring. So, I guess those two are the ones that inspired me. I don't really watch too many LPs, though, especially now that I started LPing. I mean, I like Deceased Crab also. I just don't like the way he interacts with his fans, but I'm not going to badmouth anyone too much on here. But he's a good LPer, there's no denying that, and he's going to play games that you've never damn well heard of. So that's that. Alright, so this is from Anglerfish's Eye Virgin A. What? I don't remember ever seeing you post on one of my videos before, so thank you for posting a question here. Let's see. Would you say that there are fewer games worthy of being called classics in the current generation? I have to admit, again, I haven't really played any of the games in the current generation. And, I mean, I'm behind. That's just the sad truth. I'm behind the times. And I'm kind of okay with it, but at this point, considering this current generation has been like 7 years in, I really want to get into it. It's just I can't justify the cost. Soon, though. Hopefully by the end of the year, I'll have either a Xbox or a PlayStation. We'll see what I go with. I don't know. And I don't know. Classics, you can't really decide if a game is a classic until a substantial amount of time has passed. A classic withstands graphical upgrades and the like that. So I can't really judge this current generation yet. You know, it's like, ask me in 10 years. Will I still want to play some of these games? We'll see. I mean, for a game to be a classic in the PlayStation 1 era, it had to be a damn good game, because the graphics and the controls in PlayStation 1 are so freaking weird and just dated now that it's very hard to go back to them. I mean, the draw rates. Tenchu 1, I loved that game. I can't play it anymore. The controls are terrible. The draw rate is terrible. I mean, I don't really care about how the sprites look, but just it's terrible and unresponsive. But, yeah, I don't know if I can answer that, so let me see here. Do you feel that video games are becoming fairly homogenous? Yes, absolutely. The problem is when people are spending millions of dollars on games, they can't take risks. But then you introduce the indie video game developer market, and that's where things are amazing. That is the only reason I'm excited about current video games, is the independent market. And I just love it when two people just make a game, they take a chance, it gets popular, they make a lot of money. That's amazing. That's the way it should be. And I think it's breathing life into the community. And do I see this gradually making adventure, exploration, and tactical RPGs a rarity? Probably in the mainstream, yeah. Yeah, probably. But the indie people always bring stuff back, man. And indie developers are getting, cred now, man. There's a lot of crap out there, that's the problem, but you just gotta do spotlights on the... if you like an indie game, tell people, tell everyone, because that's the only way the good stuff rises to the top, above all the crap. Do you think that the tendency towards custom character customization and online multiplayer is having a detrimental effect on the stories in video games? I've never played an MMO with a good story, to be perfectly honest. I don't think people... I mean, I know that, that new Star Wars one came out, and apparently that does have a good story, but for the most part, I don't think people care about the story in, online-type games. But I think let's take a game like Grand Theft Auto. I can make CJ look however the hell I wanted to. At the end, he was in a green business suit, because I figured I could still represent the set, but look like I had money. I like that you can make those type of choices. I don't. For the most part, especially in single-player games, definitely, I don't think that customization decreases storyline value, personally. So those were actually some pretty insightful questions. Thank you for that. Star Wars enthusiast. So, what kind of recording software do you use? Or what kind would you recommend? I use Windows Movie Maker. It is a very bare bones, can't really do much with it, has a bunch of flaws with it, sometimes drops your audio, Movie Maker, but it's free and it came with my computer. Does it seem like I'm putting minimal effort into these videos by mentioning these? I'm sorry. It's hard for me to spend... I mean, I've already spent a decent amount of money on this because I bought games that I wouldn't normally buy just so I can LP them. And then the whole capture card cost, if I added that in the wires, that was probably like 80 bucks or something ridiculous because I didn't get a good deal on it because I'm stupid. But yeah, I use a lot of free programs. I use Fraps. Fraps has been arguing with my computer for a little while. I want to find an alternative, but I can't find an alternative. I just can't. There's nothing that's better than Fraps. I'm telling you, Fraps is the best program ever. And it costs a little bit of money unless you want to go alternative routes, but I can't recommend such things. But Fraps is amazing. It records almost everything pretty much perfectly. Well, it doesn't record, like, it won't record Binding of Isaac, damn it. I don't know what's up with that. And right now on my computer, it just decided not to record ZSNES anymore, or any emulator properly. And I don't know why. Like, something in my computer broke it. And no matter how many times I re-download it and, like, update it, or even roll back to the different versions, nothing works. But yeah, Cam Studio for Flash games, Windows Movie Maker for editing, Fraps for recording. And yeah, that's pretty much it. They're not all of those are the best programs except for Fraps. That totally is the best program, but that's what I use. So that was from Star Wars Enthusiast. Mr. Meanie Pie. What is your main inspiration for choosing to LP? Also, are there any LPers that you looked up? I don't think there's any LPers that I look up to. Again, there's a special place in my heart for Nintendo Capri Sun, just because he was the person who introduced the concept of like someone just talking while they're playing a video game. So I guess there's that. What was my main inspiration? I always liked, like, there was a time where, like, a few of my friends, like, lived in this apartment, and I'd, like, come over, and they'd be, like, drinking and stuff like that. Here's another interesting fact. I don't drink, and I can't even give you a good reason. It's just I decided not to engage in drinking. But I'd just be, like, playing a video game, and we'd be talking, and then but, you know, the fact that I was playing a game, like, added to the conversation. Like, if there's a lull, they would look at the screen, and, like, there's stuff, and I'd make comments and stuff, and that was kind of like LPing. And I just always liked doing stuff like that. And after I graduated college, there was kind of this, like, creativity gap where I wasn't doing anything creative. And, I mean, that changed once I started working, like, doing graphic design, but I wanted to do something creative. And I was also very isolated. Like, I was seeing my friends sometimes, but for the most part, I wasn't doing anything. And if you're isolated, you actually get bad at talking. It's a weird phenomenon. If you're isolated, you probably know what I'm talking about. Like, you won't talk a lot, and then you'll, like, be in a conversation. You'll stumble over your words and stuff. And I figured doing LPs would be a good way to get me to start talking, even when I'm not interacting with people. And damn, it worked so well. Like, I speak so much better now. In just having regular conversations. It's amazing. I can't even tell you. So if you have trouble speaking, definitely I'd say LP is a great way to do it. Damn. But yeah, I also just did it because I thought it would be fun, and I started it, and it was amazingly fun. So I'm still doing it. So alright, Docu. Docu has been a subscriber of mine for quite a long time, and a pretty prolific poster. So, would I be interested in joining an RPG, pen and paper style, but over the internet? I don't really think so. I mean, a large part of paper and pencil thing for me is actually being in a room with people and role-playing. And I'm sure it could work over the internet, but I don't think so. You know, I'd have to see the circumstances, but I don't think so. Well, this has been half an hour, and I'm not even through, like, half the questions, so I think I'm going to have to break this up into different pieces. This will be the first piece. I'll see you in the second piece.